Welcome! In this video, we'll walk you through all the key features of the program, how it works, what tools are available, and how to get the most out of each module. Let's get started. The main purpose of our planner is to help you create design projects and full construction documentation for any kind of space, whether it's residential, commercial, or something else entirely. The program is divided into functional modules, each focused in a specific stage of the design and renovation process. 2D drawing mode, the foundation of every project. This is where you create your full set of construction drawings. Wall elevation mode helps you view and edit vertical surfaces in detail. "3D visualization mode" is where you develop your interior design, working on colors, materials, and layouts for the spaces you've drawn in 2D. Areas, volumes, and quantities module automatically calculates all spatial data and lets you measure everything, from floor and wall areas to the exact count of every element placed in the plan. Let's take a closer look at each module, starting with the drawings. The core of the entire program and the foundation for all other modules is the drawing mode. This is where you'll build the floor plan step by step, placing furniture, fixtures, utilities, and laying out the engineering systems, lighting, and every other detail that makes up a complete interior project. All tools are organized by drawing sheets, and it's important to work through them in that order. First, you'll create the base shell of the space. Start with the existing layout: walls, windows, doors, and key infrastructure. Next, you'll mark the elements to be dismantled. Then you'll draw the new partitions, openings, and any framing elements that will be built. Only after that, you move on to placing furniture, plumbing, and other interior components. Important: if you fill out all project sheets and later return to alter the base layout, say by removing a wall, parts of your saved work may be erased and lost. For example, let's say you've finished designing a space. Added finishes, ceiling elements, and decorative moldings in 3D. And then you delete a wall. The software will automatically reset related elements like ceilings, floor zones, and wall finishes. This isn't a bug. You've essentially created a new room with new parameters, and prior data no longer applies. Try to avoid this to prevent doing work twice. All the drawing tools available in the active sheet are located in the panel to the left. To select the tool you need, just click on it in the menu. It will turn orange. This means you can now add it to your drawing. Keep in mind that each sheet has its own set of tools, so if you can't find the tool you're looking for, it's probably because you're in the wrong sheet. Many tools also have smart settings that pop up when selected. This lets you configure dimensions, offsets, or placement rules before inserting anything into your plan. Most tools work by clicking and dragging with the left mouse button, starting at the beginning point, then moving the cursor to where you want, and releasing to place elements like walls and dimensions. Other tools work with single-click placement, which you use to add doors, furniture, outlets, lights, and more. Every element you add to the drawing has a context menu. You can open it either with a right click or by double-clicking the left mouse button. This menu gives you a full set of actions you can perform on the object. If you make a change you don't like, you can undo it using the undo icon in the bottom panel. You can undo a whole chain of actions step by step by clicking the button repeatedly. And there's also a button next to it that lets you redo actions one step at a time. Here's a quick rundown of what else you'll find along the bottom of your screen. Units menu allows you to switch between millimeters and inches depending on your project's requirements. Trash tool is here to quickly delete multiple objects in just a few clicks. Visibility settings can be very useful if you want to simplify your view. Just move the visibility toggle to show or hide categories like objects or dimensions. Remember, each sheet has its own settings. Draw an item tool lets you add comments or custom shapes, which are especially useful for non-catalog elements or irregular junctions. Drawing hints are found at the top of your canvas. You'll see helpful tips for each tool, which you can turn on or off anytime using the toggle in the lower panel. You can navigate the drawing area by panning across the canvas and adjusting the zoom level to work more precisely on different parts of your project. Move around by clicking and dragging with the left mouse button or using your arrow keys. Zoom in and out using your scroll wheel or the zoom bar in the bottom right corner. Up on the top right corner of your drawing screen, you'll see the controls for selecting floors and layout versions within your project. If your project has multiple levels, like a 2-story house or a split level, you'll need to draw each one on its own floor. Layouts are great for testing different design ideas. You can make a full or partial copy of your plan and play around with alternative layouts without messing up your main version. Switching between them is quick and easy. Once you've finished your main 2D floor plan, you can switch over to Walls mode, which you can find in the top left corner, to view and work on elevation views of your walls. To see the elevations for a specific room, just click on that room in the floor plan. Each wall is numbered, so it's easy to match elevations to their position in the space. You can also click on the wall label to highlight the wall you're looking for. That way, when you open the elevation view, it's easy to find and work on the exact section you need. Just like with your drawing sheets, wall elevations come with their own tool panel. You can use it to place specific elements directly on the walls, like moldings, niches, and other built-ins. There are also a few different view modes you can switch between using the menu in the top right corner. These modes help you keep elevations clean and readable by showing only the info you need for each stage of the project. For example, in the finishing and decoration mode, you can work on tile layouts. The tile layer becomes active and pops to the front. In furniture and engineering mode, you'll see things like offset dimensions, outlet locations, and plumbing points clearly laid out, so you can handle technical planning without all the visual clutter. Everything you've drawn in your floor plans and wall elevations, all your furniture, fixtures, and built-ins gets pulled into 3D automatically. Here you can fully explore your design choices and experiment with colors, materials, and styles. You've got complete control, from flooring and wall finishes all the way down to the color of cabinet handles and power outlets. There are over 4,000 material samples in the catalog, all neatly organized into folders so you can find exactly what you're looking for. Each furniture item, plumbing fixture, or lighting element has a default 3D model, but most of them are customizable as well. To swap out the look, just right-click the object and open the sub-model catalog, or click the button in the top left corner if the item is already selected. Beyond materials and submodels, this mode also lets you bring your interiors to life with small decor items like artwork, vases, rugs, and other finishing touches to make the space feel complete. 3D View also comes with a ton of useful settings to help you explore and adjust the scene from every angle. In addition to the modules we've already covered, the ones used for building your project, the software also includes a set of tools for automatically generating calculations based on your drawings. This module gives you detailed readouts of lengths, areas, and quantities for almost every object in your project. Super helpful when it's time to bring your design to life. Everything is grouped into logical categories, so it's easy to find exactly what you need, whether it's total wall area, floor coverage, or how many outlets you've placed. You'll also find a set of filters at the top of the table, which lets you break things down by layout version, floor level, or even individual rooms. Let's talk about something super important: saving your project. All the data from your drawings, 3D visuals, and other modules is stored securely on our servers, and it's fully cloud-based, meaning you can access your project from any device, anywhere, as long as you're connected to the internet. The save process is always the same. Just click the floppy disk icon in the top left corner of the screen. When you do, the program saves your work and shows a quick confirmation once it's done. Now here's the cool part. The software also features autosave, which runs quietly in the background. As you draw and make edits, your changes are saved automatically at regular intervals. The more complex your project gets, the less often autosave runs. This helps keep performance smooth, since saving large volumes of data can slow things down a bit. Autosave also kicks in every time you switch between modes, like jumping from the floor plan to 3D or heading into the estimate module. Even if you didn't hit save, any new object you added will still show up, because the system saved it for you in the background. So technically, you could go through an entire project without ever clicking the save button, but we don't recommend doing that. If you're working for a while, or especially if you're about to close the browser tab, hit the save button manually. That way, you're making sure your latest changes don't get lost if something happens. Also, if your internet connection is a little shaky, manual saves are your best insurance policy. One last tip: don't open the same project in multiple browser tabs, or try to collaborate in real time with someone else in the same file. You'll end up overwriting each other's work without even realizing it. There are several tools in the program that let you export the results of your work. The first and simplest is saving or loading your project as a .plan file. That's the program's native format. These files can be opened in other apps or viewers, and their main purpose is to store your projects outside the software, make backups, or send projects to other users. Once you save a .plan file, it's automatically downloaded through your browser, straight to your computer. This file is a full copy of everything you've created in the software. You can store it, send it, and most importantly, load it back into the program at any time. Here's a quick example. We've got a project with finished wall elevations and a fully styled 3D view. Now, back in the drawing mode, we save the project as a .plan file. You can save just the current sheet, or everything including all floors and layout versions. Let's create a new blank project and load that file back in. As you can see, we've got a full working copy of our original project, exactly as we left it. The second way to export is by generating a PDF project album, something that's easy to read or print on paper. To do that, click the printer icon in the top left corner of the program window. In the settings window that opens, you can choose the layout, page orientation, the list of sheets to include, and how you want the album to look. Once the file is generated, it'll be downloaded automatically to your computer as a PDF. Open it in any viewer, and you'll see your drawings ready to go. You can send it to your contractors or anyone else. No need to open it in the software. You can also print it at home or at a print shop. And yeah, you can print on any paper size, from A4 to A0. Just set the right scale in your printer settings so the drawings fill the page properly. You can also save images from the 3D mode. The camera icon is right next to the Save button. Before you generate the image, adjust the camera angle, scene mode, and what's visible. The saved image will look exactly like what you see on your screen at that moment. And finally, you can export data from the estimate sections. Each of these sections lets you download an Excel spreadsheet or open a print-ready version. Just like with everything else, the files will be saved to your browser's Downloads folder. Once you save your first project and complete registration, your personal account dashboard is created automatically. It gives you access to all the key info related to your account, including your saved projects, license details, and some essential tools. Let's take a look at how it works. At the top of the page, you'll see a quick summary. How many projects you've created, your current storage limit, and your Pro license status with the option to upgrade or change your plan. You'll also find links to reset your password, sign out from all devices, and more. Below that, you've got a full table showing all your projects with detailed information for each one. On the left, you'll see the project ID, useful if you're contacting support. Its version, title, which you can rename, and some stats based on your drawings. On the right are 3 quick buttons: open the project, duplicate it, or delete it. Clicking the arrow next to a project or anywhere in that row will expand some extra options. One of the most important features here is backups. It lets you download or restore an earlier version of your project, which comes in handy if you accidentally saved over something and need to roll it back. On the far right, you'll find 2 sharing options. First, there's a view-only guest link. This lets someone see your project, including drawings, elevations, and 3D views, without editing access. And the best part, the link stays the same even as you update the project, so you don't have to send a new one every time you make a change. The second available option is a quick access link. Unlike the guest link, this one allows the person you share it with to edit the project. However, access is granted only to that specific project. All other projects in your account remain hidden. You can turn both types of access on or off at any time using the toggles on the corresponding windows. One of the most important parts of our work is not just developing new features, it's also providing full support to help you solve problems, answer questions, and fix any issues. That's why we've built a full support system integrated directly into the program. You'll find the chat button in the lower left corner of the screen, both in 2D and 3D modes. Just click Online Support Chat, and without leaving the interface, you'll be able to ask anything, not only about how the program works, but also about the drawings you've created. Our support team can actually see what you're working on, and that means they can offer specific tips and suggestions based on your project. That's a huge advantage because while general questions can be answered over the phone or in a messenger, real issues, mistakes, bugs, or layout problems can only be solved if we can look at your drawings directly. Our support team is available every day, from early morning until late evening, Central European time, with no days off. So don't hesitate to reach out and chat. We respond to every message and will always do our best to help. Good luck with your project!